Save the best for last. So we are the SuperNatural Consulting Group. I'm Connor Doherty with Danielle, Jimmy, Ozzy, and Julia. And we're here to talk about a problem that is really pertinent in Detroit right now, very community specific. And that is there's a lack of cultural presence that has left creative-minded individuals in the city without a sense of community. So breaking that down a little bit further, obviously the backbone of any community, city, village, organization is the culture. And Detroit has gone through some really tough times in recent decades, and it's left the city kind of confused what the cultural presence is going to look like. And this is really affecting the creative-minded individuals in the city. Artists, musicians, entertainers, people that just love to share creative ideas are feeling like they don't have a space to do this in. You can collaborate with people that are similar to you, but really reaching other creatives that might be a little bit different than you is really hard to do, especially in Detroit. To fix this issue, we present the concept of SuperNatural. So what SuperNatural is Detroit's premier cultural hub. It's kind of a unique experiential thing, kind of hard to show really what it is. But essentially, the 6 Mile and Livernois community in Detroit has one of the strongest populations of young black creatives in the city. These are people college age, young adults, artists, musicians like I was talking about, entertainers that are very intelligent, they're very adept at their craft, but they don't have the resources in this community to really make a difference and to share their beauty, their ideas with the world. So that is where SuperNatural comes in. SuperNatural essentially serves as a space to build this community identity, to strengthen the community, a place where you can go for a night out on the town, have a drink, have a meal, talk with people that are like you, meet people that are different than you, and really build this sense of community within Detroit. All right, we're skipping the video.
Anyway, so the video is showing an example of a previously validated model that is similar to ours, which is Busboys and Poets in Washington, D.C. There are other previously validated models, such as Black and Tan Hall in Seattle, Washington. And these different venues have a similar purpose of intertwining the creative side of the business as well as cultural identity. And that's what makes it unique to Detroit. This type of venue is not there yet, so. And for our market analysis, we are primarily targeting African Americans between the age of 18 to 35 years old, living in the 6 Mile Illinois area. When looking at our market, our serviceable available market is approximately 600,000 individuals. And when looking at our obtainable market, it's approximately 80,000 individuals when controlling for race, age, transportation, and social economic status. Our location is what makes the venue so beautiful because it is located essentially in the city, which makes it accessible for locals, but it's also in an area close enough for surrounding suburbs to come out.
So the most important part of any venture, how do we make money? We have three main ways of bringing in revenue, from renting out the space for either a restaurant or an event, the event ticket sales, and the food profits. It's been interesting because Lauren, the owner of SuperNatural, will not be doing the kitchen and the bar herself. She will be hosting those from vendors in the Detroit area. So with respect to the event ticket sales, we estimate throughout the year, if there's one event every night, 50 people attend, and $5 per ticket, it's approximately $93,000. For the renting out the spaces, Busboys and Poets do $500 an hour. We think $300 an hour would be more reasonable in this market. Having those 5 nights a week, which is approximately $80,000. And with the restaurant sales, we had a bit of difficulty determining specifics due to not having real numbers given to us by Lauren, and this still being a theoretical business at this point. However, with the space that she has, we think at 25 square feet per person, About 50% of those chairs are used every 2-hour cohort. Each meal is $13. Brings out to the total revenue of about $2.2 million. And we believe she needs to have 25% of those sales to stay positive, which would amount to $567,000. And now with the costs, the staff wages are obviously the biggest part of it. However, since she doesn't have to pay the kitchen staff or the bar staff, we believe 6 staff full-time, obviously being more people at times, at a $15 rate, which she indicated she wanted, would bring it out to approximately $393,000. The renovations and the rent is $100,000 fixed, 2% each year, so it's $102,000. And the loans that she had is approximately $500,000 over 10 years with a 6% interest, which would be $66,000 a month. Now, all of those outside of the booking the talent would leave her a net profit of $178,358, which would allow that money to be put towards booking talent. We are unaware of how much a local person should be paid to come perform, but at that point we believe $178,000 is sufficient to book that talent. And the partners that we have are Innovate Detroit, which is a venture capitalist firm within Detroit who's assisting Lauren in her bringing this to real life. But also we need to go, since its location being right next to Marygrove and UDM, the student clubs and organizations, we need to reach out to them, and obviously the local talent. Within it, our activities are obviously hosting these events and being a restaurant and bar. But we also, our key resources here are the operating team, including Lauren, and also just the real estate itself.
All right, so in our segmented industry of arts and entertainment, we have several competitors that we would have to find competitors' advantage of over time in order to survive. So sort of in the online sector, we have YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, SoundCloud, etc. For the nightclubs and for the nightclubs and large venues, we have some nightclubs in Birmingham, Oak. We have the Palace as event centers, and finally the bottom right picture, that's just a photo of the Northwest Activities in Detroit Center. And so our main competitive strategy over all of these competitors is that we offer a more socially focused and cultural hub where people can physically come in and foster meaningful relationships. SuperNatural, we're in our very early stages. So as of right now, we have Lauren Hood, who is the founder and CEO. Lauren has a background in community development. She has she's also founding director for the Live 6 Alliance and Detroit Live, and these are both organizations that deal with fostering community engagement. And even as a native Detroiter, she has both the qualifications and experiences. She's personally experienced the lack of culture in Detroit, and it's kind of and then in terms of the subsidiaries, we'll have a lot of positions that we have to fill in order to kind of meet this vision of a safe cultural hub. So just kind of listing them off: a talent manager who will organize the talent for specific events and shows, etc. We'll need an event coordinator who will be in charge of the logistics and execution. We'll need a food and services manager. As mentioned before, that will be separately operated, but still we need someone to kind of, again, do the logistics on that end. And security manager, because for most cultural hubs, it's very important that over time people view your center as a safe haven, kind of, since you're attracting a lot of different kind of individuals. So we'll need a security manager to kind of organize all the admissions, and I'll just.
So when we learned about the idea of SuperNatural, it was very much just a concept. So when we approached the customer discovery journey, we wanted to validate that this was actually a problem that was being experienced by the people in the community. So we went into the Livernois and 6 Mile community to interview people who we thought would be part of our customer archetype, and that was primarily college students in the UDM and Marygrove area. And the biggest takeaway we got from this was that they had places for entertainment, but they didn't have a place that was arts and culture focused where they could collaborate and share their ideas and express their creativity. So for our next steps, as I said, SuperNatural is a very early stage venture. So as of now, we want to complete the venue renovation. And while we're doing that, we want to be fostering key partnerships with talent, restaurant owners, as well as some university organizations, as we had mentioned. And throughout all of this, we want to be continuing our customer discovery because the arts and entertainment industry is very dynamic and it's always going to be changing with what is relevant in culture at a certain point in time. We also want to start booking talent and planning an event calendar. And while this is happening, we also want to market and advertise and hopefully execute our opening night. Thank you, and we will be taking any questions.
Questions, judges? I have a few. I actually live in this area, so I think it's a phenomenal area. And I don't know, is Lauren here? But she probably knows this already, but the city has designated that area, they're gonna put probably about $1 billion
Yeah.
between the University of Detroit over to Marygrove down to 8 Mile. Just a few questions on I'm assuming this is an existing structure?
Yeah,
that you're
they
renovating?
have the building ready, it's just not renovated yet, so there's nothing really there right now.
Do you know the square footage?
8,000 square feet.
8,000, okay. One of the things that was really interesting, you roll through the numbers, and what I picked up on, you've got 5 days a week, you've got so many people and so many seats, but you don't have a consistent kitchen and you don't have a consistent bar.
That's the bar and the kitchen will be consistent once they, it's part of the restaurant, but they do their own thing. Lauren just kind of hosts this area for them to do.
So that, it will be there?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
It will always be there, and it's just so Lauren doesn't have to deal with them or pay them, so.
Because there's actually a bar on 8, you probably heard of the Bakers, and that's kind of their model. They don't, they lease the kitchen out to someone else, but it operates out of their venue. That's all I have.
It's nice that you mentioned Baker's Lane because it's interesting, and I had this discussion with Lauren. You talk about marketing to African American people, but I think one thing to consider, this is African American culture, but you go into Baker's on any given night, 30% of the people in there at least are not African American.
I think that was our focus too, is we want to highlight that culture, but we want to bring in people from the surrounding areas as well, like Birmingham.
Especially since it's so close to Oak
Yeah,
Park,
exactly,
Ferndale,
everyone at the
Hazel Park.
universities.
Right.
Everybody
Yeah,
wants.
I mean,
Right,
from
exactly.
20 minutes.
I thought you guys.
Yeah, I make a comment?
Yes.
You are so inspired. In 1918, the Harlem Renaissance got started, because they wanted a new modern society coming out of the South. They had the same gulf of absence of culture
Yeah.
and identity that you were talking about.
Yeah, thank you.
And you 100 years later, it was going on, doing exactly what you do.
Absolutely.
Stay inspired.
Thank you so much.
Anyone else?
We got
Any questions?
As you guys know, this one is a concept, heavy not rolling, but I think you look at this area, as we know, a lot of money's gonna be invested, and there's a lot of students and other people that are there, so folks are there.
And
I was
every
thinking
single,
of Mark Cuban when I heard that. Mark Cuban invested in Bloomington University of
Oh,
Indiana.
yeah.
How he trained, so I can see someone like you come in and, so
yeah,
definitely.
every single person that we talk to in our customer discovery is like, yeah, I'd love this to be here, even if they may not actually use it all that much, they see the value in it, and they want it there for their community.